Oh, my camera is so dirty. Sorry, guys. Hey, guys, story time. So, this is a true story, and I'm going to summarize it all because I already went on live on YouTube and TikTok and went in a circle. So, I'm just going to summarize it now. All right. So, guys, short story, but true story. This really happened to me. Okay. So, a long time ago, I was in this placement in Baltimore, Maryland called Good Shepherd Center. And in Good Shepherd Center, there was it was an all girls facility. Are you coming up or not? Sorry, my cat wants to come up. I'm closing the door. All right, good. All right, all right, guys. So story time. No more interruptions. Okay, so back when I was around 15, I was in this placement called Good Shepherd Center in Baltimore, Maryland, and there's a night nurse and a day nurse, and there was this nurse. Her name was Nurse Jeanette, and I love Nurse Jeanette because she was always so nice, right? But I cannot ignore a couple of things that happened. First, before I start divulging everything that I just remembered, um, I want to make something very clear. I do not believe in the supernatural. I do not believe in monsters and maybe mermaids, but that's as far as I'll go into believing things, but witches even. But I do not believe in like supernatural beings, right? So let's just make that clear. But I cannot ignore the things that I've been through. So, short story, right? What happened was when I was in this placement, there was this nurse. Her name was Nurse Jeanette. She was my night nurse for medication. She was for everyone's medications, right? She was a white lady, very pale, red hair, curly hair to her shoulders, green eyes, sorry, and she was very pretty. She always wore some 1950s, 1960s kind of nurse outfits, like the whole white dress with the white hat with the red cross. That's what she would wear in the placement I was in, right? And she would always come. So now I have memory gaps that are missing. Okay, now I'm going to get into it. So Nurse Jeanette literally went to my room one night to give me my medication, correct? So when she went to give me medication, I looked at the medication and I was like, hey, Nurse Jeanette, this is not my meds. So she's like, oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. She's like, I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to get you the correct medication. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. So the only thing that I had in my memory from this event was me waiting on the bed for Nurse Jeanette to come back upstairs to give me my medication. Now, there's a whole chunk of memory missing from that because I woke up the next morning and what I had forgotten till last night was that I woke up with a bandage on my arm. For some reason, when I woke up, my arm hurt. I looked at the bandage, but for some reason, my mind went, it's not there. It's not there. So I kind of like ignored it, like it wasn't there. And I went straight to the staff in the office. And I was like, hey, I forgot who it was in the office. I think it was like Miss Shaquana or something like that. But she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, hey, I think Nurse Jeanette forgot to give me my medication because she said she was going to come back and never came back. So she went into the paperwork and she was like, no, that's impossible because it says that she did give you your medication last night. And I was like, that's weird. There must be some mix up. So she was like, well, why don't you wait till Nurse Jeanette comes back tonight and then you can ask her yourself. So I was like, okay. So another thing that was weird about Nurse Jeanette was that her hands were always cold. Okay, her hands, and like I thought she was anemic, but like she was a pretty heavy set woman. So that didn't make sense to me. But anyhow, who am I to judge, right? I'm 15 years old at the point. I don't know what right and wrong is. So the thing is like, I waited all day that day till nighttime came for Nurse Jeanette to come and try to give me medication. And when she did come, I was like, hey, Nurse Jeanette, you forgot to give me my meds. And then she was like, what? And she grabbed this shoulder specifically, and the one that I had a bandage in the morning. And she said, "No, you did take your medication, remember?" She's like, "You spoke to me for a whole hour about your life." I have no recollection of talking to her for an hour. I have no recollection of her coming back and giving me medication. No recollection whatsoever. Or why I had a bandage on my arm. I didn't even remember about the bandage till yesterday. Hence, I was taking some Blue Lotus tea, which kind of like, I guess, make me remember things. I don't know. But it just gets weirder because when I start connecting the dots, I'm like, this nurse was a night nurse. She was really pale. She wore 1950s, 1960s kind of nurse outfits. Her hands were always cold. And not only that, guys, when I woke up with that bandage, for years I didn't know how I got this gash until last night. And I remembered. This is a deep gash. Like, if you guys see that, that's a deep cut. And whatever did that, like, I don't know why it's there. I do not believe in vampires. I believe in, like, vampires in the energy sucking situation, but I don't believe in, like, blood sucking vampires. But I think I'm, like, losing my mind right now. Like, if I was to hear someone like me talking about this crap, I would have been like, you're fucking out of your mind. But I cannot ignore this nurse. This nurse was pale, cold hands, night nurse, 1950s, 1960s attire all the time. And I woke up with a gash. And after the fact that I confronted her about, like, what did I tell her about for a whole hour? Did I talk to her about? Because if I talk to you about my life, my entire life for a whole hour, why can't I remember what I told you? And when I ask you about it, you're like, oh, you just told me the usual. What in the hell is the usual? Like, no one's life is all the same for it to be the usual, right? And then I have this gash. And after I confronted her about it, she avoided me, did not talk to me, and they assigned another nurse for the nighttime. And they're like, oh, we just switched her units. I'm like, yeah, right. I don't know what to think of this, guys. Like, I would be pissed if I was weak-minded enough to get compelled by a damn vampire and let them slit me a little bit so they can get a little bit of blood from me. But I don't want to believe that because that just sounds insane. But again, I cannot ignore the facts. So, guys, help. Like, what are... Bruh, I don't know. I don't even know what to make of this, but I had to go on live and tell the story because this actually happened to me. Like, there's gaps of my memory missing from when I was in that placement. I can't recollect some of my memories and they're just gone. And I can't retrieve them. I'm like, I can't. As much as I heard, like, the harder I try, the further it goes. Like, the only thing that was revealed to me last night off my memory, like, was the bandage on my arm, which freaked me the hell out because I was like, oh my gosh, now I know where I got the gash. I just remembered. And, like, I was like, what? So I started freaking out because I'm like, no, this can't not be. Like, I do not believe this. There's no way Nurse Jeanette was a vampire. No way, bro. I don't believe in that crap. I do not believe in that crap. There's no way, bro. But if that was the case, I'm pissed. I am pissed because I don't feel like I'm that weak to be compelled. Like, damn. Am I? I mean, I was 15, but still, like, is that even a thing? Compelling people? Like, I've been watching too many movies. But no. Guys, please. Give me some feedback because I am losing it right now. All right, guys. That was story time. Real life situation. Bye.